Back when I was in my 20s, I thrived on danger. Adventure wasn't just a pastime, it was a necessity. I needed the adrenaline, the raw thrill of pushing limits. That all changed on a cold November night in the Rockies. 10 years have passed, and I still wake up gasping for air, drenched in sweat, my mind shackled to that moment. I was a solo trekker then, drawn to the remoteness of deep wilderness. That winter, I'd set my sights on a little-known trail near the Idaho-Montana border. It was the kind of place where GPS signals wavered, and the nearest town was 2 hours of winding roads away. Perfect, I had thought. I had a sturdy pack, a rifle, and my father's old hunting knife, a relic of another generation's battles with the wild. I knew how to live off the land, how to read the clouds, how to listen to the silence. I thought I knew everything. By dusk, I had made camp in a small clearing, close to a frozen creek. Snowflakes drifted lazily from the black sky, and the fire crackled as I cooked a meal. The quiet wrapped around me like a thick wool blanket. Then came the sound. A low, guttural scrape, something dragging through the trees. Not a bear, not an elk. Something deliberate, something slow. I held my breath and listened. The noise stopped. I told myself it was nothing. The wind, a falling branch, anything but what my gut whispered. Later that night, I awoke to movement outside my tent. Slow steps, circling. I gripped my knife. The fire had burned low, casting long, flickering shadows through the fabric. I saw something shift beyond the thin layer of nylon. Tall. Wrong. I stayed silent, my heart slamming against my ribs. The footsteps stopped, replaced by something worse, a scraping sound inches from my tent, like nails dragged across stone. It lasted for minutes, hours. I don't know, I didn't move, I didn't breathe. At some point the sound faded. Morning came, gray and bleak. I crawled out, knife ready. Snow had fallen overnight, covering most of the ground, but not everything. Not the prints. Large, human-like prints, but not quite human. Too long. Toes too sharp. They surrounded my camp in a perfect, unbroken circle. Then I saw the tree. A deer, what had once been a deer, was nailed to the bark with wooden stakes. Flayed open, its insides removed and arranged in a neat pile at the base. The head was missing. The fear that had gripped me in the night turned into raw, pulsing terror. This wasn't nature. This wasn't an animal. Something had been watching me, studying me, playing with me. I broke camp in minutes, my rifle slung across my back, my knife never leaving my grip. Every step away from that clearing felt like I was being hunted. I could feel eyes on me, the weight of unseen things in the trees. The wind howled, but underneath it something else moved. I didn't stop. I hiked until my legs threatened to give out. The truck was waiting where I had left it, half buried in fresh snow. I started it up, hands trembling, watching the trees in the rearview mirror. As I pulled onto the road, I caught movement in my peripheral vision. A figure stood at the tree line, barely visible in the shifting snow. Tall. Too tall. I didn't slow down. I never went back. I never will. And I sure as hell never hike alone anymore.